Wrestling Podcast. And his name is John Cena.
From the Yellow Room Studio apartment office. It's Friday, March 25th, 2016, and you are listening to On the Heels Wrestling Podcast. I'm Kyle.
I'm Ray. We're two co-workers who enjoy pro wrestling, and this podcast gives us, and apparently only us, a space to shoot on all the aspects of our favorite pastime, without the confused looks and potential double crosses we would get from the rest of our office.
Ugh, rough.
Yeah.
Again, it's great to have you back in the office, Ray, after your appendix was dropped off the top of a solid steel cage. Intestinal fortitude on display here, I tell you guys. But you'll never know for sure who put the hit on you or what the deal with that is. Brittany's missing another podcast, just adding to the speculation. But I've got to say, I've known Brittany a long time. I just can't believe she'd stoop this low. So anyway, this podcast is all about giving you consistent, bite-sized competent. What the? Oh my God! It's Brittany's music.
We get music?
I don't have music.
Brittany.
It was me, Ray. It was me all along.
Hashtag why Brittany why?
Why?
Hi guys, I missed you.
Hi, Brittany.
we miss you too.
Hi, it's good to have you back.
Every week we'll recap the previous week's Raw, NXT pay-per-view takeover, or we'll have a roundtable discussion on a particular topic. This week we will be recapping the latest episodes of Raw and NXT.
Clearly, you haven't missed a beat or an appendix.
Nope.
But some of
I'm
us
missing
have.
an organ.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! All right, so Raw. We want to talk about Raw first or NXT?
Let's talk about Raw first.
All right.
Save the best for last.
Yeah. Oh man. So Wrestlemania is shaping up. I want to start off with going into the main events.
Okay.
Shane versus Undertaker. They cut a really awesome and really good promo with Shane.
So-
some vignettes.
Oh my God! So
Oh, yeah, that was
Shane's
pretty cool.
both of his his Muay Thai instructor and his Jiu-Jitsu instructor, and it's look how badass Shane is. Unless you had seen that one video that I think Ray posted to our Facebook page a while back of Shane doing the actual training moves, you just kind of assume that Shane's just going to die.
Yeah,
with
Shane's
the
gonna
Undertaker.
just throw himself off of things, and that's his move.
Right. To see that he's legitimately training and has all of these trainers, and even though that's clearly a canned script and they're saying whatever they want to about him, it's he looks legit scary.
Yeah, but I mean, the other thing that's crazy about that is Undertaker's still not moving too good.
No.
It makes it kind of strange if Shane's too good,
Yeah. To be
I mean, it would make it cool. Let's be honest.
It's funny. Part of me is this is the right way to tell that story.
Yeah.
The other part of me, as a fan that knows way too much, is show him in the performance center, learning how to give and take bumps. Because I'm please don't hurt him. Please don't hurt the Undertaker. We want him to be able to walk to his Hall
I
of
just
Fame
immediately managed this image of Undertaker in the performance center with a headband and Bailey training him.
Oh, jeez.
And Izzy's just sitting there with the inflatable flailing arm tube man, and it's just they're having this awesome time. It'd be.
I mean, there are some videos of him very recently, him being the Undertaker, squatting 500 pounds or something. So
Yeah.
he's still getting it done for a super old dude. He's just not moving fast. So Shane's gonna be
You don't have to have agility to be
floating
a good
like a
squatter.
butterfly, stinging like a bee, so to speak. So.
Yeah.
With
and then
his sweet kicks.
bees also flying off of steel cages.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So the one last thing that happened at Raw for in terms of this story was Vince comes out. Raw right now is really focused on selling the network, selling WrestleMania.
You don't say.
Did
you hear it's free?
I heard it's free.
We're not paid to advertise for them.
Yeah.
Take it back.
He touches in on something that really kind of pissed me off, and not for the reasons one would think. So he's saying that Undertaker is my bitch, and if he doesn't get it done, he's done after WrestleMania. This is his last match.
And I think that's really just a horrible statement because one, we all know Undertaker's a very classic wrestler. When he is done, he will lose his last match. He goes out on his back. On top of that, from a storyline perspective, adding another stipulation to this match was not needed.
Yep.
There's already Hell in a Cell. There's already, Shane takes over the company for the next Raw.
There was enough story there that we were all excited. And I think this is telegraphing way too much.
Yep.
Right.
And and like now I know what's going to happen.
Well, I'd say more that it's fairly certain he's going to hang around again.
Yeah.
A little longer. Like not, like last year SummerSlam was more of a surprise that he kind of was back
Showed
before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I feel like this paints them into that corner. The matchup, in a way, painted them in a corner, too, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and this is what I've been saying for a while, which is, like, I'm excited for the match. I'm terrified about the ending.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about something exciting, like Roman Reigns and Triple H.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad I'm back?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
But, like, I'm, like, tired of giving Roman Reigns
The benefit of the doubt?
shit at all. I'm almost just tired
It's
of...
kind of boring now.
I'm just, like, kind of tired of talking about him. He's going to get his... All right, credit where credit's due. His spot with Steph was not bad.
I liked it.
Like I think if they could stick to that, right, and just roll with that for a while, it would be okay. He says, he's a man of little words, speaks
that
with his
was his
actions,
whole-
and that's about it.
Yeah, that was his whole shtick with the Shield, was that, like, he didn't really
He
talk.
never talked. It was perfect.
And when he did talk, it was, like, super powerful.
Yeah.
Like, when he was, like... Who was there? The female interviewer that was really short?
JoJo?
Yeah, and when he was like, I got this baby girl, like, and he just, like, said, like, two things, and, like, every female in the audience just melted.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's all you have to do is, like,
all you
say,
have
like,
to do.
3 words
That's all
and
you
you're
have to
done.
do. And I think they're getting a little bit back to that because they had that whole sequence of, Triple H picking up Stephanie, the garage door reeling.
The stalker moment.
And then stalker moment where he's, like, clearly been standing outside waiting the entire episode of Raw, or at least that's what I imagine in my head.
Yeah.
So good.
But at the same time, like, he's beating the shit out of Triple H. Stephanie's screaming, I'm supposed to cheer for this guy.
This
like-
is terrifying.
Like, this goes back to the problem of they don't know how to get Reigns over.
Yeah.
Like, they like him, oh no, let's do something that's very heelish. Oh, no, sorry, you like him. Like, don't forget, guys, like, Triple H is the bad guy. Like, I really legit want Triple H to win this so that I can just kill the storyline and I see less Roman on the TV.
Yeah, or at least what I'm really hoping for is Triple H wins, and then let's heel turn Roman. And it's like heel turning people is like a manner of which to put them on the back burner
Solve
until
everything?
Well, solve everything, but it's also like it gives them an opportunity to figure out what that
I'm
character
happy you're
is.
back.
I mean...
yes, it's also in an effed up way how they get people over.
Yeah.
By way of the heel turn and then their eventual face turn again, right?
Yep.
Because when they go heel, as you've pointed out, both of you several times, they get their leeway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how New Day has sort of stepped into their own, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And
my
now
statement
they've
of
got-
going heel fixes everything. Like,
Yeah.
New Day is the best current example
Yeah.
of that.
Right, so
Although
now...
we'll talk a little bit about that later.
Yes, so now he'll, let him go heel. He can work through that. And I would love to see heel Reigns versus face Rollins
Oh, yeah,
sometime
all
in the
day.
year coming.
Oh my god, that'd be
So
great.
once Bionic Knee is constructed on Seth Rollins and he comes back.
Yeah, because I think there are some, not characters, but people that, regardless of the writing, can handle themselves in a face capacity.
Yes.
Daniel Bryan
Yes.
was fantastic. CM Punk was fantastic. I
good,
think
yeah.
I think Rollins, because he has that confidence and because he can still say the whole gimmick of being the man in the future of WWE and still be a face.
Yeah.
Like-
He'll do it in a very, Michaels-esque way.
Yes. And so I think Roman just needs to figure out where his character is and then get that confidence in a face setting.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move to the third main event, though we're not implying what order we think they'll be in, and that could take up a whole nother podcast.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Which it will.
Ambrose
So there's
is
that
going to have his
segment-
moment, right?
Right, there's the segment with Terry Funk,
Yup.
which was awesome.
Yeah.
And, now Ambrose is going to bring a chainsaw and kill Brock Lesnar. And I'm just like, one, I imagine the people in that clip who are just sitting in this, little cafe in the middle of nowhere, and this guy just starts, chainsawing through this table, but they don't get up and run away.
They cower.
they cower, and they're like, no, I would get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I would have loved to seen one person just kind of scooch
Right.
away out
Yeah.
of camera. I think it meant a lot more when Foley did it.
Yes.
With Funk, don't get me wrong, the old man was trying to cut a good promo and good on him for doing it.
He's a little old.
Yeah, but
He's having a hard time.
He got
but
it done.
give him anything else. Like I get that you're Chainsaw Charlie, whatever.
Yeah.
But you used a lot of weapons in Japan. You couldn't think of one other weapon to bring that wasn't lethal?
I want to see him use the chainsaw on Paul Heyman's suit in some capacity.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
Like maybe cut Paul Heyman's tie with a chainsaw.
Oh god.
So back to that episode of Raw specifically, you had Ambrose versus the Wyatts, which was the main event of the show, and completely forgettable.
Well,
Man,
yeah, that's because
which-
we've done that so many times.
Yeah,
by
it's
now.
like the Wyatts are always involved in the main event. Like, it was almost more interesting what happened after when the Wyatts got attacked, and I think Harper and Strowman both got attacked by fans and supposedly hurt.
Yeah.
And it's like, when that is more entertaining,
Yeah.
or not entertaining, but at least exciting
Yeah.
from a fan's perspective than the actual main event of the show, like, you have a problem. Like, Raw keeps going this, like, back and forth between, this was a really good episode of Raw, and this episode was good until AJ Styles and Owens had their match, and then it was all kind of downhill from there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You never want to be in a situation where you are at a live event and your final match is getting "this is boring" chants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's really bad. And really, I don't mind the idea that they were trying to portray as far as Ambrose fighting the Wyatts and making an example. You
Yeah.
picked the wrong Wyatt. You picked the one that can't wrestle.
Yeah.
Like the slowest one of the bunch. You could have had it been Bray. Is Bray hurt?
I
I
have
feel
no
like he's
idea.
always hurt around WrestleMania, and I don't remember if he's hurt this time, but I think he is.
Ultimately, I kind of don't care.
Yeah. But either way, like
He can wrestle a match. Luke Harper, I think, is probably the best wrestler in
Yeah.
that faction.
Yeah.
And then Rowan, third best by nature of Strowman just being a rookie.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, it was just like I get it. He's gonna use weapons, great. I would have rather this match not be a weapons match and just be Ambrose is crazy.
how about this? So last week, we were talking about Ambrose is so over he could pretty much do anything. Well, maybe
I don't
not.
think this was Ambrose's fault though.
I know, but I mean, like, man, even he can't carry that. That's a lot of dead weight.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like a
yeah,
strong
yeah.
man's level of dead weight.
Yeah,
So let's move on from that dead weight to everybody's favorite heel, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, so I was super excited that it was gonna be Owens versus Zayn.
Mhm.
I was like, WrestleMania match, like we're gonna see this.
I was not getting my hopes up.
Really?
Like, oh no, of course. Like, they're going to save Owens and Zayn for at least until next year's WrestleMania.
they
And on top
did
of that, you have to figure in that you have Nakamura and Sami Zayn on NXT Dallas 2 days before. Sami Zayn is just now coming back from injury. Like, having it be a 1v1 at WrestleMania may be just too much for him.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
moving him up to the main roster. They don't want to overwork him. Maybe I'm just doing that thing where I approach wrestling with too much logical thought.
Right.
But-
well, you're getting there a little bit.
I'm that guy.
Think about SummerSlam, right? You
Right.
had the NXT Takeover,
Right.
And then you had the events, and
Well, to be fair, Kevin Owens basically did like wrestle 6 days in a row during SummerSlam.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
he had Takeover in Brooklyn, he had SummerSlam that night, he had
And then
Raw,
Raw.
and then SmackDown, and then 2 house shows.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I would say it's not outside the question that they could have 2 significant matches with one wrestler there, but. Where I will give you props for being logical is not the guy who's coming off injury, Sami Zayn.
Who's having like the match of his career.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyways.
it makes sense, but it would have been awesome, and we all were fairly certain it was going to happen. Like think back to the Royal Rumble, right? The way we had reactions when we saw AJ fighting Owens, we were getting stoked.
Yeah.
Then the Zayn music, when that interruption happens,
Oh my god.
then we're like, no, now it's going to be this.
Every
and
time.
basically, we had 4 different who's Kevin Owens going to wrestle
I
fantasies.
thought it was
play
going to
out.
be a fatal 4-way.
Yeah,
at one
everybody
point or
did.
another. And I was
they-
like, a fatal 4-way with these 4 guys is going to be amazing.
Yes.
I thought that by itself was going to be a good show.
and the way they brought in Sin Cara
Stardust.
and Ryder.
Oh my god.
It was like,
Oh my god. Zack Ryder has a WrestleMania match. Guys,
yeah.
guys, I'm so excited. Like,
Oh my god.
Woo, woo, woo.
The
You know
broski
it.
boot.
you know it.
Yeah, so it's one, bringing those 3 guys out was clearly hey, let me bring out the shitty wrestlers, and then to introduce them into the match is like, dude, you just not only trampled these wrestlers in a really bad way, just in the booking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, you know,
None
of those three are going to win it.
Yeah.
So the thing I found really interesting in the Raw was just kind of, I mean, broken record, but how awesome is Kevin Owens, where he says, I want to have, a triple threat for the number one contender, but he doesn't specifically say it's a triple threat with Zayn, Ziggler, and Miz.
Yeah.
He just happens to call out three guys. All of which, as he's describing, also describe another wrestler. My favorite was for years has wrestled underneath a mask. Like the callback to El Generico, while still being on Raw and there not being any sort of association between the two, I think is like a really, really nice touch.
Yeah, no, he is brilliant.
So good.
So yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed. It is a 7 wrestler. I don't even know what the hell you call it. Like a 7 for all.
7-man ladder match.
It's a title touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh man, don't say that, they'll steal it.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention that like AJ versus Owens was just an excellent match.
Oh, hell yeah.
They've been putting on good matches.
Like this is a dream match happening on Raw, and even with Jericho interrupting and them doing the whole like tuck up under, distraction roll up, whatever, it was still a legitimately good match. And I think from there, like that was the peak of Raw.
So did you see that match via the Hulu 90-minute, or did you see the match via the 3-hour?
I saw the 3-hour. It was good.
So they cut out so much from that match if you watch the Hulu cut, but they like had to they did the replays. Dude, we missed that, and there were like three huge spots.
It went over 2 commercial breaks.
Yeah.
It was huge. Like, and there was this awful commercial with Todd Crisley, and from the Crisley Knows Best or whatever. I mean, I hate friggin' USA Network at this point that I know this. But it had Naomi and it had Alicia Fox, and it was one of those like eat a Snickers commercials. And turns out Natalia turns into Todd Crisley when she's upset. And I'm just like, later on watching the match with Natalia and Charlotte, it was like, did she eat the Snickers? Like, it was this weird like out of mind experience a little bit. But yeah, no, that match was excellent. Spanned a huge chunk of time on Raw. It was right in the beginning of the show.
Yep.
Like there was just, I mean, still bringing it home. Kevin Owens continues to be excellent, and AJ isn't getting like destroyed with his push. Like he's doing it right.
Yeah, the chanting thing, I could take it or leave it. But you know what? They're gonna put on a good match too.
Yeah.
So whatever.
I was disappointed in the storytelling of the AJ and Jericho.
Yeah.
Because look, Jericho's really good at being a heel. He can come up with a million reasons why not to like somebody.
Yes.
And the chant thing, I was like...
1,004 ways.
1,004 ways. He has a list.
You're well rested.
He will read
You've
it.
Got all the quips. This is good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just felt like there was so much more they could have done, like to again further like the history of Y2J, the history of AJ. Like these are 2 incredibly good wrestlers, and we're talking about they don't chant for me, they chant for you.
Yeah.
Come on, like this is a WrestleMania match.
I mean, it's good wrestling, but at the same time, it's Raw.
Yeah.
And it's not ever going to be perfect.
Yep.
Speaking of people who need a Snickers, we might as well
Charlotte
touch on
Natalia.
that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So the match that we reviewed with Grant on Roadblock, I was really disappointed. I was like, man, this is kind of a slow match. It's not like a really as good of a match as what we've seen in NXT. And then this match, I was like, oh yeah, this is they work well together. Like this is actually a really good match.
Yeah.
So I was happy to see it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, Natalia's not going to be at WrestleMania.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope,
Good
not
try
at all.
though. But
oh hey, you know.
yeah, but it was definitely a good showing for Charlotte. I love that she nailed the her other finisher.
Yes.
And actually got a pinfall on it. So that made me happy.
I like that Flair has kind of moved into a valet role where he just kind of sits there, and they're clearly pushing Charlotte to be her own character.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Ric Flair's gone after WrestleMania.
Yeah, that makes sense. I am happy to see it too. I've been saying all along, I don't want to see the woo bra. I want to see the badass street clothes outfit and other type things of her being herself.
Yeah, no, it was like
Badass Charlotte.
Yeah, Badass Charlotte. New Day versus the League. Oh, man. Yeah,
God.
I told you.
This storyline is bootios.
Yeah,
it's
it
booty.
is boo.
They make sure you ain't booty.
Yeah.
Well, they should eat them then, because
They really, because this whole match is booty.
You know, just put the bootios in the writers' faces.
Oh my god.
So, there's 2 major problems. One, I don't even know what this match is. I don't know. Like, is it a 4v3? Is it a tag team match?
So yeah, Ray was asking me this earlier in the day. He's like, is this 4v3? Is this 3v3? And I'm like, I think it's 3v3 because like King Barrett has bird bones and will break if you look at him too hard. But at the same time, the fact that I don't know,
That's
and honestly,
bad.
I don't really care,
Yeah.
just shows this is bad booking.
Yeah.
It's regrettable. It is as predicted as you've been saying for weeks.
Yep.
You know, we're all in that unfortunate position where the band you like goes big, and now you got sour grapes about it in a way, right?
I liked New Day when they were heel.
Yeah, when they were heel and they were smaller time.
Yeah.
They
Before
were
the
good.
Bootios.
Yeah,
Once-
before the Bootios, before the freaking
Before the horns.
18th different T-shirt.
Yeah.
I like. I was still on board with the horns.
Speaking of t-shirts, you see Kevin Owens has another new t-shirt.
Yeah.
Does
Like
he?
he's insane.
He's
Crazy freaking guy.
They're all black and gray, so it's kind of hard to tell.
hard-
And they
yeah, they
all
all say
usually
KO.
feature KO. Yep.
Yeah.
Right, but it's just like, what shape is the KO in? Is it more angular? Is it John Cena
They
colors?
are testing those fonts.
They are.
Yes, they are.
So here's the thing: there are 3 matches on the WrestleMania card that have not been talked about at Raw at all.
Yeah.
I imagine they're SmackDown storylines because Usos and Dudleys, the Andre Battle Royal.
Oh, that was in the Andre Battle Royal was actually touched on in the full version.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
basically, Big Show comes out and reminds you, "Hey guys, I'm still here."
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Big
so
Show.
he's a face again for some reason. And then Social Outcasts come out, and so confirmed for Andre the Giant Battle Memorial Battle Royal
Battle of Royals.
Battle Royal. You've got Social Outcasts, you've got Big Show. So Big Show throws out all the Social Outcasts. Then Kane shows up and
Okay.
throws out Big Show.
Okay.
So we've got 6 participants in this Battle Royal.
Okay.
And you've got a 7-man ladder match, and you've got, all of these other, it's like, who is going to be the other 14 participants?
Well, all right. Usually, I'm always one to say never look at stuff online, right? This isn't a spoiler. This is just speculation.
Okay, because I was
People's-
going to kill you if you were about to spoil this on me.
Come on.
Kayfabe only. Kayfabe
This
only.
is me, all right?
Okay,
I don't
okay.
do spoilers, you know this. But people were speculating about what that match would be,
Mm-hmm.
and the speculation is Strowman wins, so they keep the giant theme going.
Oh, that'd be the worst.
and
Well,
it would
No, but
be...
Cesaro won the first one.
yeah, but Cesaro's not around right now. He's writing strategy guides for Clash of Clans.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. If you listen to another podcast that I'm a fan of, you will find these things out. So, I wouldn't necessarily like that, but, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably going to be on the pre-show, right?
Probably.
Wasn't it on the
I mean,
pre-show
it was
last
on the
time?
pre-show last year.
It's
Yeah.
pre-show.
It is
for
pre-show.
Sure.
I don't think they mentioned the U.S. title at all. If they
It's-
did, I was probably sleeping during it.
Yeah, so it's Ryback versus Kalisto.
Yeah, which I mean could be a good match just because of the size difference.
Yeah, but-
and then Usos versus Dudleys, they're still doing that whole we're never going to use tables again, which is just lining up for we're totally going to use tables at WrestleMania and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
Or at least that's what I'm hoping for.
they're gonna use chairs,
Oh my god. No.
ladders,
Stairs.
stairs. Oh god, oh god.
The look on Kyle's face, like if we could audibly record it, would sound something like yeah.
There's so many things wrong with all of this.
Okay.
I mean, they're going to be there, and they're probably going to be looked at favorably, and I'm sick of them, so get them out of there.
Well,
Yes, NXT.
I will make 2 things that'll make you happy. One, we're gonna talk about NXT, and 2, Brie Bella is not gonna be at WrestleMania.
Hey,
Hey, don't say it too loud. They'll notice.
Oh man, I will not say her name 3 times and look in the mirror.
we are... There's still one more Raw to go. I'm scared, and I'm
Fatal
afraid...
4-way for the women's title.
I'm afraid you've jinxed it. Yes.
God.
So we'll move
Let's just move on. Let's move on. I don't want to think about it more.
NXT, a safer place that has once again risen up through roster churn to present us with an event
That's so magical.
Oh my
makes
god.
WrestleMania look not as good.
Oh my
again.
God.
This is the same argument we had
SummerSlam.
at
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Right. They're like
Mania.
NXT is continually outdoing the main roster. So Shinsuke Nakamura, probably the greatest signing that WWE has ever made.
Yep.
And my big concern was obviously that they were
Well, we're
going
like largest impact, right? I mean,
Right.
we don't know that till he's been around for a while, but
Sure.
it probably will be true.
from a historic standpoint, like this
Yeah.
guy is the best
Groundbreaking.
from Japan. This
Yeah.
is groundbreaking that he left there to go to NXT, which is still technically the minor league.
Yeah.
He seems like from the crappy cell phone video, that was all we saw, that as crappy as the cell phone video was, still got holy shit chance. it still looks like he's the drunk, sexy Michael Jackson meets Freddie Mercury version of himself.
Yeah.
Which makes me so happy.
This is why,
This is why you put him in NXT.
Yep.
and this is why we can stay happy about NXT, because we did wonder as they sort of became a little more big time and started touring and stuff, like, would they adapt more WWE style, like, homogenization, or would they stay true to themselves? They're staying true to themselves, because
Love it.
WWE would not allow just putting him together with Sami Zayn
Yeah.
out of the blue without, like, 3 months of, like, botched storytelling or something.
Right. Or,
Whereas they're,
or
you
be
know,
a super racist character.
Yeah, oh gosh, I don't even want to think about that
Yeah,
part.
that's what I was assuming. So anything
Oh
else
man!
is,
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Mr. Fuji's grandson or something.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank goodness they're not doing that. They're just saying these two guys are going to put together a good match.
Yep.
Just have at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a dream match,
Yeah.
honestly. Like if
Super
we weren't
awesome.
going to get Daniel Bryan versus Nakamura, like Sami Zayn is probably
Yeah.
the second best
And
option.
this looks like it's going to be, regardless of who wins, it's going to be Sami Zayn's last match.
Probably.
At NXT. They on NXT, they did build it up as such.
They did.
Yeah.
One of the best parts for the listener to know about with our podcast is our notes that we have coming in, and I always like the flavor texts.
Yes.
So we've got, Zayn Nakamura, he's so cool.
He's so cool.
And the next one
cool.
says, Hype Bros, I wonder if they can whisper.
I think that's really all we need to say about Hype Bros.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Honestly, if like Nakamura was probably my favorite part of that episode. Second favorite part, Chad fucking Gable.
Yeah,
Like
man.
American Alpha now is the #1 contender for the tag belts and going into Takeover Dallas, which
Yeah.
is like if they don't win it, this is going to like people are going to riot.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And-
I would have glowed about just calling it with Gable, even though not really.
Right.
I remember just having a moment in our Facebook group one time just saying, Gable's the friggin' best. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
all of a
It was, like,
sudden,
way
everyone's like,
early.
yes.
Yeah.
So,
It's
so
like,
there was,
oh, cool.
There was a particular move in their match versus the Vaudevillains where Gable grabs Aiden English,
Yeah.
basically rolls backwards, and then lifts him up from the ground and suplexes him
Yeah.
into a back arch as if like
He was from a video
like
game,
Aiden
like-
English was completely inconsequential. Like he wasn't there.
Yeah,
It was this giant like physics ragdoll stick man.
Yeah.
And it was just Chad Gable being Chad Gable. Like,
Yes.
And then Jason Jordan looks like he's gonna cry at the end. Like everything about it was amazing.
Yeah,
So good.
it was awesome. I'm so happy for Jordan. Like, I can't say this enough. Like, the guy has had just bad luck for so long, and then to have that moment, like,
Oh my God.
it's his moment.
So
And-
excited.
yeah.
Like I love the genuine emotion
Yeah.
that comes through with these guys. Like, cause I mean, they go into that match knowing who's gonna win.
Yep.
So to still like recognize that, but see the pure emotion that's happening, like
Yeah.
imagine what that actually feels like.
Yes.
I'm so proud of them. They're totally killing
Yeah.
it. They better win it.
Emma versus Perazo. Emma's, man, I'm starting to get on the Emma train. Like,
Starting to. This train's been rolling, man.
Yeah,
So you're gonna partake in the evolution?
I think I am.
All
like,
right.
Raise a subscriber.
I'm not really big on what's her face,
Dana Brooke?
Dana Brooke. I can't.
I'm a convert, man. Like, what has happened?
What has happened?
Yeah.
I can't even say Brittany's favorite anymore and get a rise out of her.
No, it's just like I just kind of like.
Yeah, but Emma is like putting on damn good matches, and
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy for her. She's getting better.
I think Perazo has taught us that there are many variations of the New Jersey girl character.
Yeah.
Like you've got Carmella, you've got Perazo, and then you've got the
Hey
other.
now, it's Staten Island.
Sorry, Staten Island. Well, they're all the same.
Oh man.
There's gonna be a lot of people mad at me for saying that. but like that small
tried.
area, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of different
flavors.
characters and different flavors that you can get out of there. Because there's another NXT person that's
Yep.
like hailing from Jersey, but like the completely different perspective. I don't know. It's interesting. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Tommaso versus Jesse Sorensen.
Yeah.
So Tommaso is awesome.
Yes.
He's great. Like he wrestles good matches.
Yep.
But he as a fucking like
They gotta find something.
they gotta find something. Like he's like literally
But
as
they'll get there. We've been like presented, I feel like, with this situation in NXT a couple of times now, and they've like
Figured
made
out
good on
something,
it.
yeah.
So it might be a Raw or NXT after WrestleMania thing.
I don't know. I think you're wrong. I think Ciampa is great the way he is. Honestly, I think his character is, I'm going to walk in, I'm going to stare at that ring, and I'm going to fuck shit up. And he does.
yeah. But I mean, like that's not gonna get him to what Vince wants.
No, it's not. But, I mean, he is still kind of an
I still
indie
think
guy.
he'll have his NXT moments like coming up. Like things are clearing up.
He will.
He's
Especially
getting
coming
there.
towards Brooklyn.
Yeah, no, it's. I think there'll be some sort of like middle ground between kind of what you're both saying.
Yeah.
Because
we'll
you're right,
see.
he's too good not to advance.
And mind you,
And
like
you could do something with like that sort of classic stoic Terminator angle too.
Yeah,
So.
you could.
yeah, mind you also, he's got no mic time at all, so like
Yeah.
he might get on the mic and just like
Yeah, well, I
kill
mean,
it.
you know, as early as like what 3 months ago, they were doing the whole like just happy to be here tag team matches, right?
Yep.
So you know, he's come a long way.
yeah. And so finally, they have announced the Bayley versus Asuka match. This is going to be fantastic.
So I'm going to say something controversial. I think Eva Marie did a good job on NXT. I think she has figured out her character. She has realized that she's basically supposed to be the person that pretends to like wrestling and knows that the crowd hates her because
I
she's a bad
agree.
wrestler.
Okay,
And if that is her character, she is doing that excellently.
Yeah.
If she's doing it by accident, then that is so good for her because otherwise she'd be out of a job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she's finally starting to lean into it, and I've noticed it like with some of her like mid-match comments and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's I think the only way she can get any kind of traction.
This is where I will agree and disagree with you. I
Okay.
agree, character-wise, she knows what she is, and that's great. That's fantastic. My problem has never been her character. My problem has been her ability.
Right, she is so not good that it's like jarringly noticeable.
Yes.
You notice every little detail with her character because there's not even worth looking at her wrestling.
Right.
Yep.
So if they could find some way, I mean, it stinks because it's like, wow, you don't want to reinforce stereotypes, but it would be like the valet character. But if she leans into it character-wise, it could be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, you'd have some a more put together and like constructed version of Alexa Bliss without ever having wrestling appearances.
Right. You have a valet who occasionally does some stuff in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is that you have an Alexa Bliss who is that, plus she can wrestle.
That's
Yes.
true.
That's where I'm like, yeah.
Eva's in she's stuck in a weird place, which I don't really care because it's Eva and I could totally do without her.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, Bayley versus Asuka.
Bayley versus Asuka.
Yeah, hey, we were talking about that, and that sounded cool.
I'm excited for the match. I don't care who wins. I'm just like, it's gonna be great.
I feel like it's got to be Asuka.
I mean, at this point, it's like Bayley's fought everyone else on the roster.
She's fought everyone
Yeah.
else, and she's had the belt for a long time.
Long time being like 6 months.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
For
No,
NXT,
no, it's
yeah.
actually longer because SummerSlam's in like June,
Yeah.
SummerSlam's August.
August. Yeah, so it's about 6 months.
That's a long time for NXT, so
It is. Either way, I mean, Raw had some bumps. NXT, fabulous episode as always.
absolutely.
It's funny. They're building up to the crescendo, right? Like people talk about races and like unloading before competition. Like WWE's like, yeah, we're deloading going into our big show here, and NXT's like, we're going in hot.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool. I like that. That was pretty awesome.
Yup.
Yep.
That's going to wrap it up for this week. If you like the podcast, you can find us on Twitter at OnTheHeelsWP and on Facebook.com/OnTheHeelsWP. Also, we're now on iTunes, and you can go there to download past episodes or subscribe to future episodes.
So hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment on iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. That way more people can find us.
Not just the people in the Netherlands. Although we love you.
yes.
We love you, Netherlands.
We love the Netherlands.
And tell, of course, all of your wrestling buddies about the podcast. Feel free to tweet or message us any random wrestling stuff, as we will definitely respond and share.
So thank you for listening to On the Heels. Tune into our next episode where we'll finally give you our WrestleMania and our NXT Takeover Dallas predictions. And then, after all those questions, we'll ask ourselves the internal question, why was Daniel Bryan in the downtown Seattle tree for so long?
Man, like, you just stop throwing apples.
I thought he was one of those guys who supports local farmers and produce. It feels like
Yeah.
a waste to throw away.
Why, Daniel?
My
Why?
mind immediately went
Hashtag why Daniel why?
Yeah, exactly.